All right.
Okay, we're all here. Well, everyone who's here is here. It's really nice to see everybody. I haven't had a camera or mic at all, so I haven't been on any of my Zoom meetings, so it's really nice. This is brand new for me. So, Suzanne, could you take the roll, please?
Sure will. So Elise Lipniks.
Here.
Here, okay. There was a delay, sorry. Alan Jacobitz. Alan Jacobitz.
Here.
Billy Larson.
I'm here.
David Haber.
I'm here, even though it says Jean.
Oh, okay. John Hughes.
Here.
John Deming.
Here.
Julie Ludke.
Good morning.
Lisa Haynes.
Here.
Mel Fuller. Nancy Ross.
Here.
Rebecca Smith.
I'm here.
Sandy Kinney.
I'm here.
And that's everybody.
Thank you.
Hi, Dad.
Suzanne, could you please resend the link for this meeting to Kanoi? Thank you.
All right, so we have 3 new members that we introduced last meeting. Is there anyone else we need to do introductions or announcements for?
Elise, would you be willing to do, let's see, is there a place on here? Is this where we do announcements from our office, from our directors? From our members?
Like for, oh, yes, this is council announcements, yes.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
I have asked Elise to give us an update on the Alzheimer's Association and what she is doing currently.
All right. Well, we, as I think I was able to talk to you guys before, I don't know if I was able to or not, for this specific group, we had to pivot in March and go completely virtual. And so that meant that all of our programs and services had to be virtual as we were all working from home. And as per association standards, we were not allowed to be in contact with people either. So in a working capacity. So we took our programs, our classes, and we went virtual with them. And actually what we did is we combined forces with the regions around us, the states right around us. So Idaho and Washington. And actually we brought Alaska into the mix too. And that way, these 3 states that work so closely together weren't each developing 10, 15 classes a month. We would just each do 5 classes a month, and then we would combine it all into one calendar and offer them to the whole region. Because as you know, virtually, you can join from anywhere. You don't have to be in one specific spot. And that's what we did. And the numbers are proving to be very high, so very successful. And I think it's been really good that we've been able to reach people in more rural areas, people that perhaps we weren't able to reach in person as often. We have been offering some classes in Spanish as well, and those have been better attended than the Spanish classes offered in person. So that's been really nice. Our support groups are virtual as well, which has been kind of a challenge. We get a little pushback from that, but from both the facilitators and the people in the group, they want that in-person setting, which we understand. I mean, it's really hard to not have that, but unfortunately, we have not been able to go back to in-person yet, as you all know. So we have stuck with the virtual format, and those numbers are climbing as well. So our numbers for support groups are actually higher than the national average for the association. So that's really good. We've got a couple events coming up We've got Advocacy Day coming up that's going to be virtual. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, so don't ask me yet. But I do know it's going to be a 2-day event, and it's the day that we usually all go up to the Capitol and paint it purple. Not literally. You know what I mean. Yeah. And so that is coming up. And it's Giving Tuesday tomorrow, or today. Is it today, tomorrow? Today?
Today's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday. It's Giving Tuesday today. So that's really great too. So that's my update. Does anyone have any questions for me?
When you talk about your participation, Lisa, is it primarily caregivers that you're having the success with? One of the things we had a struggle with was engaging someone with Alzheimer's disease through a virtual platform. And I was wondering if you've had some success in that.
Not as much, no. It's a little difficult. So what we do have is we have some early stage support groups. And that is where the person with the diagnosis will attend with the person who is their care partner or their caregiver, depending on what stage they're in. But then they have the assistance to get online. But no, it's been a little more difficult for, it's always a difficult demographic to capture. If you think about it, you've got to capture someone in that early stage. And when someone's in the early stage of Alzheimer's disease, it's pretty rare that they are open to, one, admitting it, and two, accepting help. So even if they do admit it and say, yeah, I've got Alzheimer's disease, they're not quite ready to accept help yet because they don't feel like they're far enough along, which many times they indeed are not. So no, we haven't had a whole lot of luck with that demographic.
Yeah, we really have struggled. I know Wendy's going to talk about what she's doing, but we tried music therapy, and it just was a struggle. And and if we're having this, I just can only imagine the struggles like facilities are having and stuff. So thank you. I'm it's always good to hear what other people are doing, and great work you're doing. Thank you so much. Any questions for Elise? I didn't mean to take over. I just jumped in on that.
Good to see you.
Any ideas have they given you? I love this question. Do you have your crystal ball out? Any ideas when you get to come back?
Hold on, let me check my crystal ball. Our guidance from the powers that be in the Alzheimer's Association has been when there is an effective cure, treatment, or vaccine. So there you go.
Wow.
When it's safe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Elise. I appreciate that. Does anyone else have any announcements for our group? Okay. Well, we'll move on to approving the agenda as written. So are there any additions or deletions we need to make today?
I'll move to approve. Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy. Is there a second?
I'll second it. That's Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy. All right. All those in favor of approving the agenda as written, please say aye.
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 Any opposed or abstaining? Okay, great. And then we also got the minutes from our very first virtual meeting. Are there any changes we need to make to the minutes from our last meeting in November? Okay, well, if there's no comments or changes we need to make, we can go ahead and make a motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Second.
Thank you, Billy.
Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy. So all those in favor of approving the minutes as written, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Okay, wonderful. So we'll go ahead with that. Marilyn, I don't know, do we have any public here with us today?
No, it looks like we do not.
Okay, well, I guess we're moving right along today. Number 5 is action items. Do you want to talk about that, Marilyn?
I sure do. What I'm proposing is, let's see, I don't know why it won't make me, you can see me, huh? Well, what I'm proposing is that we discuss it this week and we make a decision next month, because it's always hard when we just say, hey, who's going to be in charge this time? So we need to elect officers for the new year. And I feel that it's appropriate to ask our current officers to continue, since we didn't meet for 7 months. Right?
I agree. Yeah.
So I'm asking our current officers, both Rebecca and Elise, to consider being president and chair and vice chair for the 2021. And so, but I'm open to anyone else. I mean, we're here to talk about it. Is there anyone in this call, whether you're new or have been on the commission and you've always wanted to be the chair and you didn't want to wrestle it out of the hands of Rebecca? Here is your chance. But if there's anybody on the call that would be interested, please consider. You can do it by sending me an email between now and January, letting me know that you're either willing to continue or you would like to be considered. And we can put it together and do a vote at our next meeting.
Okay.
Any questions?
I have one. Elise and Rebecca, are you willing to continue?
Yes, I would love to continue. This is, it's truly a great, fun time for me to do this. So I enjoy this, but I think I want to encourage anyone else who wants to do it, that this is a terrific group of people to be part of. So if anyone else is interested, this is a fantastic position. So.
And you know, and in terms of meeting, you know, we will be doing it via Zoom for quite a while. So keep that in mind as well, as your comfort of being the person in charge during a Zoom meeting. It is a little different. And Elise, what did you have? Did you have some thoughts?
I was just say I echo what Rebecca said. I love doing this. So yeah, I would be willing to continue on.
Yay.
Yay. Well, thank you very much. And then, of course, anyone else that's shy, that doesn't want to speak up right now, but wants to be president, just email me and we can have a discussion and work through the role and responsibilities.
Marilyn?
So, yes.
I don't want to volunteer for either one of those, but when I was appointed, it was just through December. Do I need to do anything to have that appointment continue?
Suzanne, didn't we send forward that Lisa wanted to continue into the new? We did. So you'll get a reappointment letter for your new term.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That'll warm you up for being president in the future. So,
come on, Elise.
Cute.
Well, thank you. That's done, and we'll deal with that in January again.
Perfect. Okay, well, Marilyn, you're still up because we have your report next.
Okay, well, first, I'm going to put John Hughes on the, haven't asked him, but would like him to. At the end of my report, John, would you mind sharing with me, sharing with the group how you are navigating the pandemic with your business, and then share with us an update on your radio program as well? Would you mind at the end? I'll give you that long to think through it.
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, thank you, John. Well, hello, everyone, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Let's see. Bria, would you mind, it won't let me spotlight myself. Would you mind spotlighting me?
Sure. So everyone has a choice to amend or change their view as desired. At the top right,
Oh.
everyone should have a view. So you can either do gallery or speaker view. So if you want to spotlight yourself, it'll tend to default to whomever's speaking at the time will be spotlighted, if that makes sense.
Okay, because the other ones I was able to switch the spotlight on the right, but it won't let me do me. That's all right. I don't look that good today anyway.
Yes. You know what? Here, let me see if I can.
Oh, there I am. I did it.
You got
There
it?
you are.
Perfect.
Yep. Thanks. There we go. Well, thank you, everyone, and I hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to give you some updates on what's happening here at Center 50 Plus. Suzanne sent you my director's report this morning, so it should be sitting in your email, but I'm going to go through it right now, and then you can look at it additionally later. A little heads up, I gave some stats on what we've been doing. The food and care box, we're at over 210 when I wrote this. We now know it's more than that per week that are receiving the senior care box. We're utilizing between 38 and 40 volunteers. This program is only funded through December 31st, and we have received notice that it is not, the funding is ended, and we will not be able to continue the grocery purchase. And so what we're trying to do now is help people transition to Plan B, which is make sure everyone's on Meals on Wheels if possible. Connect them to the local food banks, help them connect to the PDX Concierge, which is the free grocery delivery volunteer program. And then go out and helping people that have the resources figure out and learn how to have groceries delivered to their home or ordered and the volunteer group picking it up. We need to work with our volunteers to assist with picking up groceries from a grocery store and delivering it. So that would be phase 2. But the actual purchasing of groceries is coming to an end. They've the donor provided over $250,000, which has carried that program for the last 9 months. And United Way, wonderful organization, but they're an emergency response and also helping move forward large community initiatives. So to run a ongoing food delivery purchase program is kind of beyond their mission in the continuing months. And so our role to help people is, one, we've been warning people since October that this was happening, but now there's a letter that will be going out and we'll be addressing now what can we do? How can we continue to help? One of the things we have found, though, that has been shared with us is because they've been receiving our groceries, many people have a built up Oregon Trail card with money on it that they have not had to expend. So now we need to help them figure out how to use their Oregon Trail card and connect them to technology. And so we're going to work on that. Online fitness, we do a 5-minute fitness on Facebook every day, and we get between 150 and 200 views and participants. This is done free on Facebook, short fitness such as Tai Chi, yoga. If you haven't seen it, please go on there and check it out each day. We do a fit and fun fitness packets. Kanoy will talk about her membership, but we're distributing over 350 to 350 seniors through the food bag program and through the gym membership. And remember, the fit and fun packets have nutrition tips, new exercises to improve health and mobility, and then even stress management tips. They're very good. If you haven't had a fit and fun pack, please check one out. Let us get you one because they're very impressive. And Noy's just done a bang up job with those. Family caregiver and Alzheimer's support. We do activity sheets, phone call check-ins, self-care tips. And Wendy will speak to what other things that she's doing, but we're continuing to maintain that connection. This has been a challenge and she'll report on that. We're doing Thursday Zoom and Friday phone call bingo, and we have 18 seniors a week between those two that are participating. We have online lifelong learning classes with a variety of subjects and participation. We have outreach to seniors, Friendly Caller and Pen Pals. We are doing over 2,200 calls and letters a month and connections That is just unbelievable. We used to have 80 on our phone caller program, and now we're at 2,200. We are still supporting Meals on Wheels usage of the center. They're doing over 650 meals a day from this facility, and we're responsible for maintaining this building, making sure that it's clean and it's open, and we're following all those standards. We have hobby interest groups, interest and discussion groups, weekly chats on Zoom, whether it's the wood carvers, the pine needles, TED Talks, or even our harvest party. About 33 seniors participating. And then, of course, we have on-demand classes. These are, you can register and receive any of our recorded classes to watch on your own schedule. And they're about $14 each. And so you can see we're, calling people, we're connecting them to the internet. And then, of course, we're doing the WOW van. Our in-person offerings, we were moving in a direction that we were going to be able to do small groups. And then that all stopped. And so the only thing we're allowing right now for in-person is the Medicare counseling, which is because it's open enrollment. Some people need help choosing their Medicare, supplemental Medicare program. And we do face masks and temperature checks at the door, and they're divided by a plexiglass. The other is that we are allowing the wood carver group. Well, I said 5, but I guess it's 3 people and an instructor spread out throughout the entire room of the craft room, again, with masks, temperature check. They had already registered and planned on coming, and it's such a small group, we're allowing them to wrap up their things. And then we still do foot care, and Kanoy will talk about that. The WOW van is starting to pick up some interest. The WOW van, our Wellness on Wheels, is out in the community. Just a reminder, we repurposed our current 7-passenger van to go out and do front porch delivery service. We call it basically a mobile senior center. And when we're out there, we can do emergency food. We can help with one-on-one tech support. We can help with activities and programming, like deliver the supplies for a lifelong learning class. We can encourage health and fitness by delivering the Fit and Fun packs. And we also have our personal trainer that is providing demonstrations and helping people select a few different exercises for a particular concern. We're providing welfare and friendly check-ins. We also tie that in with the Canine Corps, or our dog visitor program, and done by social distancing, often through a window, but we have had some success with front porch visits. We've delivered birthday greetings, and we've delivered facility parades, window parades to facilities. We continue to deliver "You Are Loved" signs through it. And then we also can deliver the subscriber activity boxes when those are available. So people are calling. I'll give you an example of what the WOW van, kind of how the ideal WOW van client looks in terms of our goals. We had a woman who lives over in Pioneer Village, and she called and she wanted the WOW van to visit. So I went out, and she sat inside her doorway. I sat out on her stood out on her porch, and we both had our masks on, and I delivered her groceries. And then we had a visit and an assessment to find out other things that she was needing. And by the time we left, we had her tablet running and connected to Facebook for the center. We had her signed up for a Zoom class, and she had a scheduled appointment with our fitness personal trainer. And she addressed to deal with some things that she was facing with some of her mobility. And then a repeat, I will go back because now's phase 2 of the tech support, where she wants to learn how to buy her groceries online. And she was struggling with how to do that. So that'll be the next phase. So that's kind of what the WOW van is doing. final is that we will be doing mobile flu shot clinic. So P3 Oregon partners, care partners, will be doing a drive-through flu clinic here at the center as soon as we can. But we're going to be doing through the WOW van, going to people's homes and doing the flu shot for people that absolutely cannot leave their home, cannot drive, have issues with getting out. They're going to help us take the WOW van out and do that. So that's kind of what the WOW van is all about. Any questions about the WOW van before I go on, or anything I've talked about so far?
Sounds great, though.
It's a challenge because everything is front porch and the weather in Oregon is bleh. Different if we were in, say, I don't know, San Diego or Arizona, but it is what it is. And sometimes that little 10-minute visit at their front porch where they're inside and we're outside and we have our mask, sometimes that's just enough. And it's minimal worry. I feel very safe when I go out because most of the people we are seeing have not left their home for months and limited exposure. For me, it's mainly what are we doing to make sure we're not carrying anything to them. And so gloves, masks, only providing clean materials, that kind of thing. So that's the debate we kind of go around on, but we can't not keep connected to people. And some people really will not, are not equipped to do technology yet. They're learning and we're moving in that direction, but sometimes you have to be in face-to-face. So we're working through the balance there. Let's see. I am going to turn it over to Wendy. Wendy Kilgore is our Wendy Kilgore is our respite coordinator and now full-time grocery delivery package coordinator, and is doing a bang-up job. And I just wanted her to give her report on those two programs.
All right. Hi, I'm Wendy. And I don't know if everybody knows, but I did start the day the center closed. So this has been quite a good way to get to know the center, quite honestly. I'm going to start with the respite. So I was hired in March, and so in the meantime, I've been staying in contact with the operations and policy analysis with Northwest Senior Disabilities. And currently the state of Oregon is subsidizing the income. So back in March, there were 30 participants. During this closure, I was notified by 3 caregivers that their spouses had passed away. Then I've been notified that 4 have been admitted into memory care. So several caregivers never returned phone calls, and some have stopped communicating with me. So to this current date, I am communicating with 15 caregivers at this point. I am calling caregivers monthly, and I email activities twice a week to the caregivers. So in the beginning, I know Marilyn talked about the virtual music program that we had, and at first I felt like it went okay. But then I started noticing as more joined, I think we had up to 4 participants actually join us at one time. They would be fidgeting. Saw one of the caregivers, the families actually had one of the participants sit down with his lunch, but that still wasn't enough to help him focus with paying attention to the program. Or I don't even think he understood really what was going on. So, and eventually we decided to discontinue because I think our last virtual music program, I had 1 person join, and I think it was just myself and Melissa Potts who was doing the music. It was her and I that were left. So we thought that would be in visits. And going out in the van. I've been on 7 visits now. I have 1 scheduled for this week. And the participants and the caregivers seem to enjoy and appreciate the visits. So volunteers. So I've made phone calls and emails to my volunteers. Well, several of the volunteers have joined or did join the virtual music program until it ended, and several more of them are now helping with the senior care and food program. One of the volunteers responded to an email that I sent, and she did, and I was able to hand those out during the WOW van visits, and they really enjoyed that. So that's kind of what's been going on with my respite program. Does anybody have any questions? All right. So my next, I've got it here on my computer and I've got to pull this up. All right, so I don't know. Food program since the beginning, but I took it over, I think, what, in September? Yeah. So the senior care and food box program is serving currently today 220 seniors in the Salem area. There are currently 32 volunteers that help with packing, driving, and delivering the groceries. While volunteers are working inside packing, volunteers are adhering to social distancing guidelines. Drivers are doing the same by wearing masks and gloves while delivering to the seniors. And
Yep, hold on.
yes.
You keep coming in and out. So
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Where do you want me to start?
You said seniors.
Okay, I'll start over. Okay. So we're serving 220 seniors. There are 32 volunteers that help with packing, driving, and delivering the groceries. While volunteers are working inside packing, volunteers are adhering to the social distancing guidelines. Drivers are doing the same by wearing masks and gloves while delivering to our seniors. 30 hours a week. Hours are used for packing, data entry, phone calls, arranging and changing routes, especially around the holidays. It gets pretty busy. Wednesdays and Thursdays are delivery days, and we're delivering between 2 and 4 p.m. Anyone have any questions?
Thank you.
So we purchased food for the holiday, both Thanksgiving and Christmas, for 250. So we have some special meals that can go out to people that are not wanting it on a regular basis. And I'm thinking, we also know that we're getting anywhere from 4 to 6 new people a week right now, at least. And so we wanted to make sure we could make it through the end of the month with that. So our kind of our top is 250. And so that's what we're working with. Both Wendy and I were sorry that the program is ending, because it's such a huge relief to people. But we, that's the challenge when you're looking for just donations from when you're looking for donations from a private individual or organizations. They too are beginning to be tapped out, because many people now, they are at 8-9 months of response to COVID. So we're going to do our best just to help and support people. So thank you, Wendy. Let's see. The next one is Kanoi with our health and wellness program.
Good morning, everyone. It's so fun to be back on SCAC again and see everyone's faces. Marilyn touched briefly on a lot of the different things we've been working on in the fitness center. We've been trying to keep people on track with their fitness goals. We launched our season 1 online fitness classes, which we currently have over 50 patrons accessing the classes. We do expect season 2 to debut mid-December. So kind of excited about that. We are continuing our 5-minute fitness classes on Facebook. So as Marilyn said, if you haven't checked those out, please do. We have a variety of workouts, so it's not just the same thing. Every day is a new workout with one of our new instructors. Another way that we've been making efforts to reach out and stay connected to our seniors is by sending our Fit and Fun packets out. So we've continued that. In fact, this week I'm working on packet 19. So we've gotten a lot of good information out to folks. We've also been able to give those to our WOW van referrals. So if folks aren't quite ready yet to meet with Cheryl, our personal trainer, this is a great kind of intro for them to kind of get their mind wrapped around what we offer, what we have. In August, we began offering foot care twice a month. And since then, we've served around 60 patrons. I do expect that these numbers will grow as folks start to get a little bit on more of a regimented schedule with their foot care. A lot of folks still aren't feeling quite comfortable yet to come out, even though we do the temperature checks, screening questions. We also do cleaning between each client. So we're certainly making all the adjustments that we've had to make. And so it's a nice, clean, sterile place to be. In addition to supplying members and class participants with exercise and health information, we still have our staff continuing to call and do check-ins with folks so that they have somebody calling and seeing what they're up to. We had so many wonderfully successful classes, and they've built a lot of great relationships in these classes. And so it's important that our instructors are calling and just checking in and making sure everyone's doing all right. A couple of the other ways that we're starting to reach our patrons is by Zoom lectures. The one coming up is going to be emotional well-being during times of uncertainty. My Dotrin, our Zumba instructor, will be teaching this class. I thought this was a great time of year to kind of do an emotional well-being check-in. We'll also have a breathing basics class. I'm kind of excited about this one. The reason this even kind of came up is I was sharing with our yoga instructor how I have a hard time doing my cardio with a mask on. And she said, you need to learn to breathe correctly. And I thought, that's a thing? That seems so basic. But she kind of shared with me just a little bit of information. And I said, this is good stuff. You've got to do a class on this. I know I'm not the only one that's trying to exercise and wear their mask. And quite honestly, just wearing it out in public, going and getting my groceries and stuff. So I think that's going to be a valuable class. And then the third class that we have in December, and all the dates and times are there in the director's report, is the Tai Chi, kind of a sit and chat. That was one of our very successful classes as well. We were getting upwards of 30 people in this class. And, when I call and talk to some of these folks, they will tell you, this was my social life. I did 4 things socially, and most of them were at the center, and now I do nothing. I don't talk to anyone. So that's kind of what made me think we really need to foster those relationships that were made. As important as it is to get new folks in and kind of seeing what we're doing, those relationships are really important. So I'm really excited to bring those folks in, bring them together. Otherwise, we've been trying as hard as we can to keep our folks interested in what we have. There is folks that did have to go and find another gym, but they've told us, hey, the second you're open, please let me know. So I feel really encouraged that when we do finally get to open again, that we will have a good following. I'm not too worried about it. And that's kind of where we're at.
Frankly, I think part of it will be, it's a lesson learned. Sometimes we talk about what the difference is between our gym, but if they hadn't really been in another gym, they don't always know what to compare it to. And now, this is true. It's cleaner. It's you don't have the crowds. You aren't rushed. lies and what's important to me. I mean, I think they're going to appreciate what we, it may be this is probably a whole awakening.
I think so.
How important it is. And so thank you, Kanoy. Anything you want to share about Cheryl and the personal training on the WOW van and what we're trying to do?
Oh, definitely. So Cheryl, if you don't know who Cheryl is, she is one of our personal trainers, and she's been with us for close to 3 years now. With the WOW van, we are now given the opportunity to take Cheryl out to different folks' places, different referrals that we've had, and have her kind of stand on their porch, do a 10, 15-minute video, a 10, 15-minute demo, different exercises. Each person has different areas in which they're interested in. Some people are just really concerned with balance. So she can come out there. She's recently made some handouts. She can come out there with a balance handout and say, here you go. I'm going to show you how to do these exercises. She'll write how many reps and sets that she wants them to do. So they kind of feel like, okay, I've got this. I'm going to do these. And she's made them catered to folks that can do this seated, standing, any fitness ability. She also, in addition to going and doing these personal visits, she also has been there for a lot of the pop-ups as well, where we'll pop up and just kind of get some general information about what we do, who we are. So it's a great opportunity for them to meet her, for folks to see her. She's got such a sparkling personality. You just kind of fall in love with her and you're like, yeah, I don't mind having you on my porch. So I think it's going to be great. Marilyn had mentioned, with the weather, that can be a bit of a barrier right now, but we're trying to find ways around that, whether that be mentioned setting them up with a Zoom so they can sit in their house and she can stand outside and she can do the exercises and they can see it, standing outside of a window. We haven't had a ton of folks just yet saying, yes, come over. But I really do feel like once we start getting more folks, even just wanting call check-ins, we're going to see that we have folks that want us to stop by. So I'm really excited about it. And Cheryl, she's so motivated. She's so excited. She also was in charge of doing the Otago program. So she's used to going to folks' homes and working on balance, fall prevention, and those types of issues. So she's good to go. She's excited.
One of the additions between both Wendy and Kanoy's areas is that we can work with case managers, see about being able to bill to Medicaid in certain circumstances. So we're working on exploring our options there. We don't know for the Alzheimer respite program and our caregiver program, it'll be a matter of working with the foster care. We had one client that was referred, and we'll be following up with adult foster homes and just determining on what benefits we could bring to them. So it's a challenge to make that hoop, but Wendy has experience in that. She found that she can bill for an hour. Is that right, Wendy? On her visits, she can bill for an hour with our Medicaid clients when she goes out. So we're going to continue to work with that contract and that agreement to see what other ways we can support people. So now I would like us to, any questions of Kanoy? Frankly, Kanoy and her staff, they're just rock stars. They're just doing everything they can to keep people connected. I'm very, very proud of the work they're doing, and they do get discouraged. What's interesting is people in theory often want to do fitness, but when it comes to execution, sometimes that's more of a challenge. And we have a staff team that is really a group of cheerleaders that will encourage people to try, and even if it's small strides, they'll continue to support them through that. So,
Thank you, Marilyn.
Bonnie, share with us about
Great
lifelong
job,
learning.
Kanoy.
Thank you, Sandy.
Are you there, Bon?
Bonnie
think
was
she's
getting
on.
off at 9:45 to start a Zoom group.
That's right. You know what? We'll come back to her. She'll pop in. If she doesn't, I have a complete report for you in your director's comments that were mailed to you. She gave a listing of all the different classes that we're working on. I did want to say that her mission moment is, she says, what a time it has been. I love seeing the success of our patrons and the success our patrons feel as they Zoom for their very first time, and how much they enjoy returning to our offerings on a regular basis. Our instructors and students have taken such great steps forward, and in doing so, together, we continue to learn. So truth of the matter is we have pride moments when someone takes advantage of a Zoom for the first time, and they'll say, this is my first Zoom. And it's pretty fun. So a couple of other things I want to highlight, because this is not in my director's report, but will be in January's, because it's all kind of new. Well, one, I did let you know, we received a grant from AARP to purchase tablets, and that is going to be incorporated into the WOW van, where people can borrow a tablet for a period of time to determine if it's something they want to purchase on their own, or if they're wanting to take a particular class just one time, we can let them borrow it. We're also going to use the tablets for our instructors can be outside. They can pass a tablet to the person on the inside, and they can do a Zoom live together for their fitness and their communications. So if we can't be together, we can at least be in our car or on the front porch right there having a communication. And we pass it to them, then we sanitize it, and we take it back. Also, we've partnered with the library, and we do have in the WOW van a collection of books that people can check out for 2 months. Also, we have clean and new puzzles that people can have. And so we're kind of trying to build on those two different principles. December 31st, we are having a New Year's Eve drive-through event. And thanks to our generous sponsor, Hidden Lakes, Madrona Hills, we are having this meal cooked, and then they're driving through and can pick up their Martinellis and their meal for the night. And then at 9 p.m. that night, so they're picking it up during the day about between 2 and 3:30, having an early supper. And then about 9 o'clock, when New Year's Eve ball drops Eastern time, we'll have a Zoom party and do a Zoom watch party together at a New Year's Eve gathering. So we're excited to try that. On Friday, let's see, December 18th, we're having our holiday open house. And that's similar to what we did for November. Each of our staff will be hosting a craft or a menu item or something fun from their homes for the holidays. So mark your calendars for that, or you can go on 2 places to register, either for both the events I talked about, the New Year's Eve drive-through as well as the holiday open house. You can go to friendsofcenter50plus.com under events, and you can register for both of those. Or you can go, of course, online to cityofsalem.net. But trust me, the Friends website is easier. Then the next thing that is pretty exciting is we have received 2 rather large grants, one from United Way, and then from our Mountain West investments. We have received $250,000, and those funds will be to further our outreach efforts. It will be for all of our outreach that we're doing: Friendly Caller, Friendly Visitor, WOW Van, Canine Corps, and a new concept is the villages, the village networks. The village network, currently we have one in South Salem that is under the umbrella of United Way. And we have been asked to take that under our umbrella and the 40 seniors that are a part of that program and move it forward so that we can expand the village network idea to every area of town. And really the Village Network is seniors helping seniors stay independent in their homes, partnering with communities such as schools and churches to help seniors remain in their homes. And you have these little villages set up throughout the town. This grant will allow us to further that goal and take it from one village to one in each area. Ultimately, the dream would be every village or 5 or 6 villages has one WOW van where you get the support of volunteers, you get the support of Center 50 Plus, you get activities brought to your home, and you have this network of neighbors and seniors around you helping you remain independent. So if you're good at driving and you can drive a friend to the grocery store, that would be something you would do for your village members, for your friends in your village. But if you like yard work and you like raking leaves, that might be what you do in your village. But truth of the matter is United Way took the South Salem village under their umbrella so that they could foster relationships and try to develop it. Through conversations and discussions, it seems that rather than us duplicate services, that many of the things they're trying to do, we already do, and it would be natural for us to assist them. So that will begin in January. It also comes with the funding to support the positions that go with it, and also the United Way staff that has been running the South Salem Village will actually work from Center 50 Plus for 6 months to help with the transition and to figure all of that out. So January, there will be a complete proposal that shows you all of the key components. But bottom line is it's the funding to continue on all of our outreach to homebound seniors or those living in community care settings or foster care settings, and to reach out to them and be able to support them. So pretty exciting. We're just thrilled to receive the support. Both of the support agencies have made a commitment for 2 years. So it's not just an overnight help. It's 2 years to support those programs and continue to grow. Honestly, we've been doing the Friendly Caller and the Friendship Brigade and all of those programs with Heidi, and it's grown too big for that. And Heidi and Wendy because of the grocery program, but it's gotten so big because everyone's homebound and everybody needs outreach services. And so we'll be working through the details of that as we negotiate the final transition to January. So very excited, and definitely the direction we want to go to better serve our seniors, and a lot more partnerships. You'll see additional partners, community agency partners such as United Way and Salem Hospital, in addition to many others. You'll see those partnerships step forward and be a part of this bigger picture. So any questions on that before I turn it over to John Hughes to give us an update on his business and all that's going on? I know it's a lot of information, but I wanted to plant the seed of what direction we're moving for the new year. If anyone wants to, I can't forget that. Heidi will kill me. A letter has gone out. It's going out. There's information on the Friends of Center 50 Plus website. We have a subscription activity box program. This is delivered to seniors at their home or in their care setting, and it's for a month of activities. It has a workbook. It has craft, chocolate bar, smell good things, all sorts of things. It's a gift box filled with activities and engagement and a handwritten card, and it's very lovely. People can sponsor. They can either purchase a box for a friend, that person that has everything, or you can, or someone living in a care setting and you can't go see them because of the restrictions, you can purchase a box to be delivered. It's a subscription box. You can buy one, or you can buy for the whole year. Or you can sponsor 1 month for somebody. It is $30 and it's delivered to them. So if you were thinking about giving your annual donation to the center, you can, we are encouraging people to sponsor a senior living at home or in a care setting by buying, sponsoring one box. It's very similar to the food program where they have you sponsor a meal, or a month of meals. Well, we're picking that up and we're focusing on the engagement, the connections, the activity, stimulating exercise activities that will be in there. It's quite lovely. If you go on the Friends of Center50plus.com website, you can order it there. And you can also see the box and see what's inside and see what that's all about. It's pretty cool. And it's not limited to just Salem. We can ship anywhere. So keep that in mind. I know we're all going to do it. So yay. All right. Let's see. John Hughes, I'm turning it over to you.
Well, hello, everyone. As you know, I run Comfort Care Home Care here in Salem, meaning we send caregivers to people's homes. And when the world went sideways back in March, we lost about 50% of our business. And, you know, that's a big deal. But as time went on, all that business came back plus more. And, you know, we also do daily temperature checks and provide masks and gowns and gloves and all that for our caregivers that are going to these people's homes. And we try to stay as consistent as possible with the caregivers so they don't have a lot of different people coming in and out of their home. We're trying to work with our state licensing agency right now because they don't want to bend from their rules as far as in-person visits to the people we take care of. Although they kind of contradict the governor's orders right now. But we have begun doing more of our initial intake paperwork and different things by mail or email, and meeting with people either just with phone calls or by Zoom, so that we don't have to send unnecessary people to their homes. In the case where people don't have the technology, we'll do as much as we can by phone, and then we'll do like a front porch visit where we can get their signatures and give them their copies of the paperwork. But we're trying to stay as safe as possible. And we are still running the dementia support group that used to be part of AllsNet. And it was on hiatus for a couple of months, but it is meeting in person again here at our office. There's between 5 and 7 people that come to it, and we do have a room that's big enough everybody can stay 6 feet apart. And so we do still facilitate that once a month. And then as my radio show, I haven't been allowed to be in the studio to record shows since March. So we're basically doing Zoom sessions and recording those. And we continue to record new shows and put those out every week. Matter of fact, I think it was 3 weeks ago, Marilyn was on with an update about Center 50 Plus, and we had Alex Johnson on talking about what's new for Medicare in 2021 and various topics like that. That's all I have, Marilyn.
Any questions for John? So John, people are really needing help in the home.
Yes, and I will say not just us, but pretty much every agency in town does not have enough caregivers right now. Partly because some people that traditionally have done that kind of work, if they have school-age children, they're staying home and not working now. But there seems to be a growing trend of phone calls that we get where people are wanting to take their loved ones out of facilities and bring them home, but they don't know how to take care of them themselves, or they can, but they still work, so they need help while they're at work. So we're getting a lot of phone calls every day. Sometimes we can help people, sometimes we can't. It just depends on, do we have staff available in their location? So obviously if they're out in Staten, that might be harder to staff than in Salem or something like that. But we're recruiting and hiring all the time, and also acquiring protective equipment continuously so that we can safely serve people as we bring them on.
John, how much of your request for need is just for companionship? Because I'm seeing a lot of that even with folks new to my building, that the family's having a caregiver come in a few hours, a few times a week, just for that one-on-one interaction because they've been lonely and isolated for so long.
Right. We are getting some calls for that, but the majority of them do need personal care and other care as well.
Lisa, what are you guys doing to help people with socialization and things while they're, what's going on in your facility?
Well, we, as an independent senior living community, we don't have the same restrictions that you would find in an acute care with this, like assisted living, skilled nursing. So we do allow family visits, but only 2 people at a time. We are doing any activities that are appropriate for small groups with social distancing, such as our exercise classes. We're still doing the chair exercise and the balance class. They're just smaller and separate. We have limited seating in our dining room, again, to accommodate social distancing. We don't have any, we haven't had a positive COVID case in our building for several months. And I think part of that is we screen everybody that comes through the building. Everyone in the building is wearing PPE. We are going through hundreds of gallons of disinfectant. So recognizing, in fact, John has me giving a presentation next month to one of our groups. Folks are just now starting to realize the impact of loneliness and isolation on this particular population. And with being independent living, lots of folks are coming here because they want to be around people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the whole loneliness and isolation we talked about. We've been talking about it for 2 years. It's been our theme of our Cup of Joe for 2 years. This has been our project, our focus. It's been, but until the epidemic, until the pandemic, general society couldn't put their mind around it or didn't bite into it. Now everybody's experiencing what isolation can feel like. And now it's like, oh, that's what they've been talking about. And I'm just wondering, if that's going to be what our future holds in terms of people recognizing, is it going to be equal? Social connections and engagement, is it going to be as equal to?
We are absolutely seeing a decline in individuals' health, particularly those individuals that maybe had just a mild cognitive impairment and it's developing into more full-blown dementia.
Absolutely. It's such a good point. That's what we're seeing. Also, just people haven't been taking care of their eyes and their ears. And so not only are they isolated and lonely, now they can't even, they're every one of the things that they have left, their world has become very small, and the dementia and cognitive decline has been significant. And I think that's probably what we saw in our respite program, folks.
And I'd be happy to share or chat with anyone that maybe wants some additional information or ideas on how to combat it. I love the things that the center is doing. I've signed up with a program that delivers 150 handwritten notes to my community every couple months, and that's residents have started asking me when's our next group of letters coming.
I love that. I love that. Well, Lisa, we can talk offline. That would be a great topic to add to our sessions.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Well, that was the end of my report. report. Any additional questions for either me or any of the staff or any of the folks that have spoken? I can't see your faces, so I'm going to assume no shout outs.
So Marilyn,
Uh-huh.
what about the Santa to Senior program? Did they need delivery people?
We are using, we haven't heard how many we're delivering to, but we're going to primarily use our drivers to deliver with their food bag where appropriate. If then from there, we will then recruit. We're going to see how many we have to deliver beyond the food bag program and our friendly callers, because each of those are going to be delivering to their own folks, and then my staff, and then we'll know how many additional we need.
Still December 7th week, next week?
That is what we were anticipating, but I have not heard if they haven't called to schedule their delivery time. It's going to be a major organizing, but we're hoping to be able to put them in the food bag when they deliver their food, and then set appointments with the friendly callers to pick up their boxes too. And then my staff can deliver too. Has everybody did everybody know about how to be a Santa to a senior?
No.
Home Instead sponsored the project where they adopt a senior, you purchase a gift, they deliver it to Home Instead, they wrap it, and then we deliver it to our seniors. And we used our food bag program and our friendly callers as the group for us to reach out to, and they get one present each. And people could go online to Amazon and purchase the selected gifts or drop off their gift to Home Instead. Last I heard, though, not everything had been purchased. So we do have some seniors we're probably going to have to go shopping for.
Okay, wonderful. And then Nancy, did you have an update about the Friends fundraising, or were all of those events, you already covered those, Marilyn?
Yeah, Marilyn covered all those.
Okay. Wonderful.
I did, and we do need to reach out to Linda Schellenberg, who is the president of Friends, and get her application to be on the commission. But that doesn't mean Nancy doesn't have to leave. Nancy can stay.
Yes, Nancy, please stay. We like you.
I'm nosy enough, I want to stay.
All right, well, are there any other comments, or are we moving to adjourn today?
No, I have another item. This is Alan. So what I've been worrying about a lot lately is what are we doing for the long range increase in homelessness, especially with seniors. What I'm talking about is the home eviction is being lifted, and people who can't pay for their mortgages are being put out. And I feel like that's going to be more and more before June, July, August, whenever this thing turns around. Is there somebody in the city government that can give us an update on what's going on and how we might plan for the future increase in our population?
I think that, primarily community action is taking the lead. The city's just a side partner so we can talk to community action. I'm wondering, Julie, last time you were here, you mentioned, well, maybe that was something else. Julie, do you have anything that's going on in your agency in terms of helping with senior homelessness in the future, or initiatives or anything coming up?
We really don't specialize in housing. What our primary goal in Northwest is to help with the long-term care housing. So people who have medical needs, activities of daily living support, walking, bathing, dressing, eating. things like that. So we don't have any initiatives right now. The only thing that I personally am involved in is helping, just being present and making sure my niche of the agency with the ADRC is supporting folks who were displaced by fire. And so we're just part of, it's called a multi-agency, I forget what it's called, stabilization team or something like that. So, so there's some stuff going on with FEMA and Red Cross and things like that that we've been taking part in, or just looking out for those particular consumers and making sure they get to those connected agencies. But we are referring everybody to community action. I think the only thing that I'd be curious about, if there's any updates after we had our last meeting about the temporary shelter that should be going up soon or close to 750 plus. So I'm just curious about that, because I did actually make a referral or told one of my staff about that yesterday, because she is somebody who is experiencing homelessness, or is what we, in the business called couch surfing. She's kind of moving from place to place. She's been displaced by her family. Her spouse went into care, and she no longer has a stable place to live. And so we were discussing options, and that was one of the programs I brought up, because she was of age and she had certain chronic illnesses and things like that. So yeah, just as an agency, we don't have housing in particular, but we do support and refer people to the other agencies that do.
Okay. So let me see about getting community action. Gretchen Bennett from the city can also come in and just give us an update. Those are where we're referring currently, are those two agencies as community action. We also do refer, of course, to Marion County Housing Authority, but for City of Salem Housing Authority, for their senior housing complexes. So, but let's see, community action's big picture. They're the ones doing kind of the big plan, as well as Marion County. So it's a collaborative. It's not just one agency. So I'll find out who can represent the collaborative. As far as the housing across the street from here at the old DMV, they will be opening a night shelter this month. I'm not sure if it'll be this Friday or how they're doing. There's always a challenge of staffing, getting people that are willing to paid staff in a shelter just getting people to work is a challenge right now. But they are opening. The renovations have happened across the street, and they've got it set up to be good to go. One thing is they are going to put in a porta potty outside, because that was a request we made. And then they are going to be working through a shuttling service to take the seniors from here downtown for food and activities during the day, if they choose. Just a reminder, this is a low barrier, so they can have pets as well as all their belongings. And so they may not be interested in leaving those items during the day or hauling them place to place. So there will be a porta potty outside. And it will be open from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And it's it's not a drop-in. You register to be there. So you go through a process, and they screen and figure out if it's the right placement for you. The other I was told is some of these are coming in from camps. And so there is a desire for them to, they would often will go back and visit their camps during the day, their belongings, their friends, the things that they're connected to. So they're assisting with figuring out how to get back here by bedtime. So that's what's happening there. They were exploring us from doing, they were exploring doing a day shelter, and it just simply didn't pencil out especially with the new COVID guidelines and restrictions, staffing limitations, and just figuring out basically shared liability. I don't know. It was bigger than me, more complicated than my decision, but they're not going to open it during the day, but they are going to have the porta potties there. So that helps. And hand washing stations. There will be outside hand washing stations and a porta potty all the time. And then we will be doing security to assist. So, good question, Alan. And I will see who can come in and give us what is an update. I know they have a long-term housing concern, homeless concern task force that's working. And I see who has an update on where they are and what they're doing with that. It's a very complicated subject matter. I'll say that means there's a lot of partners.
Thank you. You have a great day. Okay. Well, are there any other comments or things we need to discuss? I think it's a great idea to talk to community action more, because I know we had a lot of questions when they came, and so it'd be nice to revisit some of those now that they've so.
Well, and when they came, we had Arches, and Arches was focused on the emergency night shelter. I think it'd be nice to hear what Alan's asking is there going to be a whole slew more of people that are displaced because of the rental relief ending, and what's going to happen? What is their plan to address that? I will say that when we've talked about it briefly, our seniors are the ones that many of our seniors don't work that we work with. They're retired or they have part-time jobs. And so their income was not as impacted because they tend to already be on a restricted fixed income. And so the housing crunch or people not paying their mortgages or their rent may be for those primarily that lost their jobs. So we're hoping.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I suppose we can move for adjournment if there's nothing else today. It was really great seeing everybody now that I have a camera set up.
I move for adjournment, Alan.
Thank you, Alan.
Second.
All right, thank you, Elise. Okay, all those in favor, I guess say aye.
Aye.
All right, anybody opposed?